What is going on, everybody? This is Derelius. I am back with my Search Party review, season 4, episodes 4 through 6 review. And to me, I thought the episodes were cool. It's getting more crazier out here. And before I start my review, this is all my opinion. And if you do not like what I have to say, that is perfectly fine. Everyone is entitled to their opinions. And here is the review. So episode 4, it immediately begins with Portia all dressed up as Dory, about to film scenes for the Dory special with her starring as Dory. And then we go to immediately to where Dory was at before, as now she's been zip tied with her hands behind her back and Chip driving back to their house to cause more psychological harm. And just when that is about to happen, Chip sees freaking Paula Joe still decorating the Christmas house, because that's her thing. She directs how she designs, like puts up decorations for everyone's houses in the neighborhood. And Chip, who is dressed up as his Aunt Lila, is not happy to see her. So then the two start to argue somewhat. Dory rolls down her window and she tries to scream for help. But it's not that she can't scream for help, it's that she's been injured so bad to the point whenever she tries to like scream for help, it's like help. It's all bad. And then Chip, he pushes Paula Joe down the ladder, trying to shut her up. So then what we see in Portia's show, they did some horrible castings. Like Drew as a black man, like what's up with that? And it's the guy from Power, the professor who got killed. Like I was like, I know that's not him. I know that ain't who I think it is. But yeah, it's the professor from Power that got killed. I was like, ain't that something? And while she's filming her scenes as Dory, she's having like a horrible time. And it's bad to the point the director wants Portia to take a week off to like get her mind right, because she's still thinking about Dory somewhat. Drew, on the other hand, he is trying to get back to New York ASAP because he makes a shocking discovery that he didn't see before. As it comes out, the sweater that Dory was wearing was a sweater that he already had in his storage. So that makes it seem as if that photo was not taken from yesterday, and it's not good. It is not good at all. He tells Cindy that it's not because of Dory that is the reason why he's leaving, but he needs to go back to New York ASAP. Elliot, I think, is having the best time of his life, as his new job at the news station is going so well. The company wants to now start releasing guns as Elliot guns with different political colors. And it's doing so well to the point is that they're going to fire his news partner. And then once Elliot tells her that she's about to be fired, she then proceeds to hold the living life out of him, basically berating him from his childhood to adulthood. And he runs for it. But then it goes to nowhere as she gets hit by a book and she's knocked out. I have no idea whether or not she's dead, but I don't think she's dead. But the book did come from like a high point of view, so who knows. Meanwhile, back at the crazy house, Paula Joe is now with Dory, with Dory starting to lose it. And it's so bad to the point that Dory is not considering to off herself, because from what I assume, it's still around Christmas time, 3 months, and she doesn't think that she's ever going to get out. Paula Joe makes a discovery that Dory is the same woman who was just acquitted from all the murders and everything. And once she finds that out, she does not want to be with Dory anywhere. She thinks Dory is a killer. And then when she tells Chip to like get all of her medicine, when she says that in front of Drew, in front of like Chip freaking loses it as he shoves her medication down her throat. She dies. She dies because of it. And then Dory keeps telling Chip that she's a murderer, she is a killer, that she did all those bad things that people are saying about her. Basically, she is admitting to all of her wrongdoings, as she knows she ain't all innocent. Like all the stuff that the gang has gone through is mostly her fault, but the gang itself, some of the faults is their own as well. And it ends with as if she's letting out as the door opens some way, and there's dolls, the Drew doll, the Portia doll, and the Elliot doll on the ground. She then picks them up, and then when she turns around, she gets knocked out by a baseball bat because of Chip. Drew makes it back to New York to Elliot and Portia, and he tells them about his discoveries about the sweater and about how Dory may be missing. And they're not really all that hesitant to help, but they didn't realize that she has come for them, that she has helped them in the past and everything, and that she could be in some serious danger. That's how episode 4 ends. Episode 5 begins with the gang going to the police station to officially label Dory as a missing person, but the cop does not give no types of F's, as he says that Dory is not missing, as she is in hiding because of the trial and everything, as it is apparent that Chip, impersonating Dory, had written a letter basically saying to not look for her and she doesn't want to be found. So then he then basically technically puts a restraining order on all the three, basically preventing them from looking for Dory, but they don't listen just because it's their friend. So why would they listen? And another cop says that the note itself was really cool. So then it goes back to the crazy house. Dory is now in another bed, all drugged up and everything because she suffered a concussion thanks to freaking Chip's whole ass knocking her out with the baseball bat. And then Dory is still talking about all the crazy things that she has done. And then it gets crazy to the point that Chip decides to drug her with some, I don't know what, and he decides to mind control her by basically changing her mind about certain things, such as the killings and all of those kind of things. Meanwhile, Elliot, Drew, and Portia, they try to like follow up a lead on possibly where Chip is at, but it's not Chip. And then it's discovered that the night before Elliot and Mark's wedding, Chip had talked to this person, wanted to know about his job and everything, and it turns out that Chip has somewhat subdued him, placed him in the back of a trunk, and then he was let out the next day. That just goes to show you that Chip is a crazy individual and that he just needs like a 12 gauge thrown to the head. I'm sorry. And he can't help. So then when they get out of the RV, whatever, they find out that the car has been towed. And the guy offers to help them to like take him to like the tow shop, but he has other plans in mind. So then back at the crazy house, Drew, freaking Chip, I don't know why I keep saying different names, but Chip is, he now has all the dolls, and he has somehow recreated the scene of when Dory killed freaking Keith from season 1. And he somehow creates a Keith doll, which is making me suspect is that he has been somewhat following Dory since season 1 or season 2, because he knew about Dory killing April, as he had an April doll as well. And then he like messes her mind to the point as if she doesn't even remember whether or not she killed Keith or April, as he has a fake note from April saying that she is still alive, she left for Fiji and everything, making it seem like life is good. The funny part about that though was that when Chip was reading the note, he was holding April's doll, but then the freaking doll's head came apart. And I didn't think it was going to be shown this soon, but then Chip somehow was able to get a hold of the message that the gang has sent her, basically berating her, saying that all of this is her fault from like the first episode of season 4. Dory loses it. She then says thank you to Chip, as I don't know, he probably like changed like her whole mindset and everything. Now that Dory is dead, but I have a feeling that Dory is just playing alongside and that she is planning her escape. So then now they're all been kidnapped, stripped naked. Well, not naked, but like stripped and everything. Drew, Portia, and Elliot just find some things like put on, and they go to this freaking market, this not a grocery store, like a liquor store. And then Portia freaks out as she sees Chip as a little boy on a brand of honey buns or donuts known as Little Stickies. Episode 5 over. Episode 6, we see that Dory is now accepting her fate, as she now doesn't call herself Dory. She believes that Dory is now dead due to what Chip had did with her with the mind control, Stockholm syndrome. But this would not happen in real life. This would not happen in real life. Not this fast. And she now knows the code to get out of the basement. And freaking Chip makes her breakfast. They talk. And then Dory decides that she wants to be now known as Stephanie, and Chip still has all of Aunt Lila's wigs because when Chip was a kid, she lost her hair, which is kind of weird. Either she had cancer or something else crazy happened. Meanwhile, Drew and Elliot Portia decide to message Little Stickies about their discoveries, and they get a weird message saying to please delete their status and to visit them at the warehouse. They then go to the warehouse with two creepy old people, and Little Stickies, their food is being made. And they think that their plan is going to work because they're trying to figure out who the kid is on the poster, on the picture. And the couple lies as they try to say it's this old man in his 70s now in a wheelchair. And then they bring up all the things that Chip has done, such as kidnapping Portia, making her about to be devoured by rats, freaking kidnapping Dory. And and the thing ends with all of them taking pictures. And then once freaking the gang leaves, it's discovered that they are Chip's parents. I think Chip's father, as they know that they know something. But then the father's like, they don't know what we know. So they know that Chip is crazy. They don't know what he's done allegedly. And I think that Chip's father and Aunt Lila had did something, because the mother doesn't believe that Aunt Lila is really the father's sister, but he swore that it is, and that's it. So meanwhile, freaking Chip and Dory, now known as Stephanie, are going to this ice cream shop, but the ice cream shop has been closed after 67 years, and Chip is not happy. He's about to go full little Timmy mode by breaking the window. They go to another ice cream shop. Chip hates the ice cream, but then Dory, she loves the ice cream. And then Mark, Elliot's ex-husband, sees Dory and takes a picture with her, with Dory acting all types of weird, saying that Dory is dead, acting weird. Mark, he leaves. Stephanie, she leaves. Chip stops her. They go back home. And then the whole gang, they go back home. And then Elliot sees a picture of Mark and Dory. And they see how Dory looks horrible and everything. And they think they found out where she's at. But nope. They're in a whole wild awakening. How I see this ending is whether Dory somehow escaping. She was faking the whole time, just escaping. The gang somehow finds her. I don't think they're going to find her. Or the parents doing something to Dory. Because now that they know that Chip has been on some F time, on some garbage time, they're going to do something about it. I cannot wait what's going to happen. The last 4 episodes come on next week, but that is the end of my review. This is all of my opinion. If you did not like it, then you are perfectly fine with that. I don't care. And until next week, goodbye.